Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Charles. I want to welcome you guys to another episode of the Dreamerspro Show, where we cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, where we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. And in today's episode, the topic is, will this be the year that the Clippers finally get their revenge on the league? So that's the topic I want to get into in today's video. But before we get into that, I want you guys to please make sure you go ahead and hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and hit the notification bell to be notified whenever we drop our content. Also, be on the lookout for our Dreamerspro Premium platform that we're launching next week. And also, be on the lookout for Dreamerspro.com, our website, which we're finally going to have up and running at the end of this month. Now, granted, there's only Marco and I at this current moment in time, but later on, as time goes on, we're going to add more people to kind of help us out what we're trying to do here. But for now, it's just him and I, and we have a lot of things, on our plate. Some people ask, "Where's Marco?" Okay, Marco is busy every day. Marco is behind everything that you see post-production. Apart from me talking, all I have to do is just sit here and produce a body and search for topics. Marco does everything else: thumbnails, editing, music, all of that different stuff, design, all of that. So Marco's usually very, very, very busy. But I know a lot of you guys want to hear from him. He's going to be in our premium platform. He's going to be talking in there and helping walking you guys through how that thing kind of works, and you get to be able to interact with him. So he'll be there. But Marco's a very, very busy guy, but you guys will be able to communicate with him in the community. Anyway, let me get back to the topic. That's not what this is about, because I'm sure there are new people that are seeing this video that have never seen this before. Like, who the hell is Marco? Why is this relevant to me? So let me just get into the topic here. So anyway, I was thinking about this topic, and I was thinking about Brandon Marshall from First Things First. Now, Brandon Marshall is a former professional American football player who played wide receiver, right? He played in the league for some time, but he was drafted in 2006. Now, currently, Brandon Marshall works on the show First Things First, which I believe is a Fox Sports Show. Yes, it's a Fox Sports Show that co-hosted, I think, with Nick Wright. Jenna Wolfe is their moderator, and some other people that come in, that they bring in at times, like Chris Broussard and others. There's another gentleman that works on the show that I forgot his name. Excuse me for that. But anyway, Brandon Marshall is a huge proponent of locker rooms that have good team chemistry. When things go wrong, usually Brandon Marshall, now some people don't like him. Some people say that his opinions are sometimes not very well thought out. I've heard some people say I usually fast forward when he starts. So I get that. But he does make a point when he talks about locker room chemistry. And his thing is, he's famous for saying, once he hears a team doing this and this, he goes, blow it up, blow it up, blow it up, blow it up. And people are like, man, what do you mean blow it up? And essentially what he's saying is, if this guy is going to be a hindrance in the locker room, you gotta let him go. That's been one of his major things. So that was an issue that kind of plagued the Clippers last season, which was locker room issues, right? Not being a team that was kind of together. That was one issue. Another issue was Kawhi Leonard not being very assertive as a leader, right? And as one of the biggest Kawhi Leonard fans out there, he's my favorite player currently. I think there's something to be said about that, right? Kawhi, you can always improve as a leader. It's not like as if you're a ready-made package. All of us can improve in what we do. So it's not like as if you can say, okay, I'm a finished product. No, you can always get better. And that was something that was kind of true about Kawhi Leonard. He could improve his leadership skills. He could, be more assertive. He could be more galvanized. He could try to bring guys together more. And that was one of the things that was said about the Clippers. Another thing was, of course, the bickering, the preferential treatment that some players didn't like. They felt like some players were getting better treatment than others. Load management seemed to be a thing that kind of hurt the team. Some people were like, why is Kawhi Leonard load managing? And just not having the right mesh of players in there from a personality standpoint. They fit well as far as skills, but from a personality standpoint. Also, we remember the thing with the storyline of Lou Williams going to Atlantic City, I think, to get some to get some, some chicken wings or whatever it was, after I think attending a friend's beer. This was during the NBA bubble, which was confounding to think about. Like, this guy, that's actually being said about you. That's a story. So they had so many different distractions last season, all of which did not assist them and aid them in helping them win the title, which was their ultimate goal going into that season. I'm sure at least that was what Steve Ballmer's, that was his main focus for his team, spending all that money. But going into this season, it seems like the Clippers have managed to clean all of these things up, right? They got rid of the locker room issues. Montrezl Harrell's no longer playing with the Clippers. He decided he let him walk. He wanted to go play with the Lakers. They brought in a new player that's a better fit for this team in Serge Ibaka, who fits very well with Kawhi Leonard and the team that they have there. He pretty much does everything Montrezl Harrell can do, but much more. He can play better defense. He can hit the mid-range, hit the three-point shot. So he's a better fit for what this team is trying to do. Then they went out there and got a gem in Nicholas Batum, someone that none of us saw being such a huge contributor to the team. Someone that Nick Wright, I think within the first week of the NBA season, on the show First Things First, they spent a good amount of that segment laughing at Nick Batum. Oh, this guy, he's not going to do anything. He's not going to be a contributor. Now look at what the guy has done thus far. A guy that was waived by the Charlotte Hornets has turned out to be a key contributor for this team. Then they went out there and got a new head coach in Tyronn Lue. Now, some people say, well, how was he a new head coach? He was there last season as an assistant coach under the former head coach of the Clippers, who had been the head coach for that team, I think, for the past 6 years or so, in Doc Rivers. And people are like, how is this an upgrade? How is this going to be a change? He was there when the ship was going down, and I said it before and I'm going to say it now. When you're part of an organization and you're the assistant coach, you're not the head coach. You're not the one, you're not the guy making the final decisions. You're the guy giving suggestions. And in some cases, you're not even giving suggestions depending on the temperament of your head coach, right? You don't want to show up your head coach. So it was solely Doc Rivers' team, and he was the one kind of giving directives to subordinates, so to speak. It wasn't Tyronn Lue. Now with Tyronn Lue in as the new head coach, you can see things have changed dramatically. They're using a different offense. You're now seeing Kawhi Leonard finally playing back-to-backs, because Tyronn Lue has played with some Hall of Famers. He played with Michael Jordan with the Washington Wizards. He was coached by Phil Jackson, the greatest coach in NBA history. He played with Shaquille O'Neal. He played with Kobe Bryant. So the guy can work with tough personality. He coached LeBron James and won an NBA title. So Tyronn Lue has been around the block, and he's been around the greatest players this sport has ever produced, right? So being able to speak to a Kawhi Leonard or Paul George or any of these guys is, quite frankly, nothing to him. If you've been around the block with those players that I just mentioned before, and you were coached by Phil Jackson. So they brought in a coach that could hold the team accountable, which is very important. Some people lamented the fact that they say, hey, listen, Doc Rivers is a little bit too lenient with these guys. He's letting these guys get away with too much. That doesn't seem to be the case with Tyronn Lue, and that acquisition is not lost on me. I understand how important it is to have the right voice in the locker room and the right leader in Tyronn Lue. A lot of people speak about leadership, and it is true, but having the right coach in place also facilitates that, as you're seeing with how he's able to influence a Kawhi Leonard now, who's now playing back-to-backs, being much more assertive from a leadership standpoint, bringing guys together, and you can see that he's really trying to take the next step as a leader. And I don't think any of these things happen to the degree at which they're happening right now without having Tyronn Lue. And that's the reason why Lawrence Frank and Steve Ballmer said that we absolutely feel like we got the best coach in the NBA coaching our guys. So that's something that's not lost on me. Another reason why I think this could be the Clippers' year to get their revenge is that Paul George is on a mission. Paul George has been the butt of everyone's joke since what happened in the Orlando bubble with them blowing that 3-1 lead to the Denver Nuggets. He's been in the butt of jokes of the NBA, and you saw that kind of show its face when they were playing against the Phoenix Suns, and he was just like, a lot of guys were chirping. Now, I don't know what the hell Devin Booker was chirping about. He hasn't accomplished a damn thing in the NBA to be saying anything to Kawhi. Make the playoffs first before you start talking about Paul. You guys even made the playoffs, and you're there talking about this and this. You're soft. I guess it's just stuff people say. The guys over there, there are 55 people standing in front of you. Oh, you soft. Okay, whatever. So maybe that's part of the culture of banter or whatever it is. But you saw that kind of surface, and Paul George at the end of that game said, listen, a lot of guys have been talking. I'm hearing a lot of talking, a lot of chirping. This never happened for the first 10 years of my career, so I think Paul George has something to prove. The Clippers already shown that they could beat great teams. They beat the Lakers. They beat the Suns. They beat the Blazers. They beat the Nuggets. They beat the Golden State Warriors. So they've gotten some solid wins at the beginning of this season, and I think they got better this year from the defensive end and the offensive end, to be quite honest with you, for all the reasons I just aforementioned. So for me, I think this could be the season that the Clippers get the revenge on the league, because I think they have a lot of things working in their favor this year. Just to be quite honest with you, I really believe that. So what I want to know from you guys is, do you think that the Clippers will be able to get the revenge on the league this season? Whatever you guys think, please leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section below. Again, if you enjoyed the video, please make sure you go ahead and hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell to be notified whenever we drop our content. Again, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to check out the next video that we have coming up after this. Once again, this is Charles here from Dreamerspro, wishing you guys an amazing day, and catch you guys on the next episode. Peace.